working on. So I'm going to demonstrate what it's doing and what's not doing. So let's go over this area. So this is about where we are with it. So if we look at that, that is what that's what it's doing, which means it's spinning on the wrong area. See, that's forward and back. So it's not spinning correctly. So what we can do with this is just stop that. Let's go back. I hope this is already here. Since it's doing all these funny tricks, this is where we need to adjust. I had explained this code before. All I'm doing is I am pressing the downward arrow and upward arrow. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. I'll add another button here for stopping one time. So let's go over this because it's on the X. Remember, this is XYZ, so it's on the Z now. Let's take it out from that position. Leave a 0 there. Then what we try and push it onto here is usually the norm. So if we do that, let's save it. And then let's see how it behaves at this point. Come on. Machine, don't let me down. It's taking too long though. Oh, all that time you're just fooling me that like I pressed it. Okay, so here we go in the play mode. Look at that, we got it. And there it goes other way. Perfect. That's exactly what we want, just like the doctor ordered. So let's put it up about there. It's working the way we want. So what is exactly happening on this wheel here? This is the first motor. So the brakes are actually working on here. It's driving forward and it's reversing. See, that's reversing forward and reverse. So now the braking part of it is something else we needed to add to it. So I'm happy that this project actually worked. Yeah, it took me a while to stupid codes and messing around and all that, but like I had in the other screenshot, and I've also explained on a lot on the screenshots, and hopefully this brings some more breakthroughs on what we're gonna do. Let me just explain that you have this shaft and motor, which is motor 1, and then you got that motor 2. So basically what they're doing, one motor goes forward, one goes back, and they sort of work together to break the wheel. You see, so with this area, it's not so bad as such, because this is something just to sort of come together and demonstrate that. You see, and although there is not so much I've added into here, you see, but it's more likely the same is doing exactly what it's meant to do using the keyboards. Because right now, like I said, it's on, where are you? It's on the downward arrow and upward arrow, and it's using these as acceleration speeds. These two areas, it's what it's doing, using the acceleration, and that's the calculation. That's the direction XYZ. These are variables. Never really instantiated anything on there because there was nothing to do to instantiate. So let's put this. There's nothing to bring down along as an instantiation. Like let's call this rigid body. But let's see here what we have. Yep, it's playing well. Now let's just push it a little bit up. So if it's playing that way and that way, we are done for that point. See, so with that, I then just check back later while I'm trying to work on to how to break this part of it and see how far we can go with it. Let's take it from here and see what happens. Yep, let's see. Let's see. Okay, excuse me. We're back with this again. I just did a few more adjustments so that can be seen on here. So, oh, come on, wanna move now. What's the matter with it now? Always does these crazy things in it before. Yeah, there we go. Now it's moving again. So we go back and forth. So what's actually happening is one motor is going to reverse over the other one and then they blend in. I'm going to do more explanation on the blog of what actually happens on this. You see, so one motor goes forward, one motor goes back, one motor is in brake, one motor is in power brake control. So that's what it does. So where you're going, one is going forward and one is going backwards. One's going forward, one's going backwards. One's going forward, one's going back. Alright, so that is it. I will come back and do a demonstration on it later about the function of this thing. There is another code, however, I must also go over. This one was for the cube that was rotating, so it's no longer a requirement now. But this is, yeah, this is for the cube that was rotating earlier on. Yeah, we don't really need it right now, so that's a good thing. But our focus is to get this one sort of running. Oh, what is happening here? Let's see if it allows us to do that. Okay. But ideally, I'm not working on this code. I should close it up and dust it up. I'm not working on the rotating cube at all. Yeah, it's a good piece of code, yeah. But I am not working on this, so I'll just keep it up for my documentation purposes, really. So that's probably what I'll do. I'll take it there. Let's see. So here again, the code I used on here doesn't really allow me to apply that much drag. I'll show you what is happening first. Let's see. Okay, there we are. It's driving and it's reversing. So driving forward and reversing. Perfect wheel, right? But now we need to apply the brake. So let's drive forward, give it a reasonable speed. Doesn't actually come to a hold straight away, but it does come to a stop here. So I think the code I used for this, because I did not use anything to do with rigid bodies, so I'm going to apply decent force to, I think, start to disintegrate the whole project. To do that will take us in a lot of errors and time consuming. So for now, I think here we are good to go with this one because it's actually applying. So you have to sort of tap the brakes, which is your A for apply, and apply drive. So there it does stop. But if you don't, if you just sort of hold it, it nearly never comes to an end because there's so much, drag on there. There's nothing to pull it and hold it. Although it does come to a hold, look, it's gonna stop. That's pressing the brakes. But you might end up pressing your hole into your keyboard because you are expecting it to stop one time. This is something else to actually adjust on here and put it across later. Basically, see, it does stop, but you got to tap it. Tap the two keys, A and D. See, that's it there. So we'll go back and look at the code now. What is exactly happening? What have I done? I applied 0 on here. Maybe there's another way easier. So what I did is apart from the upward arrow and downward arrow for driving forward and back, for reverse and forward, I then applied these two to sort of stop the acceleration and that. So maybe there's other calculations I need to alter at this point between here and there. So I am sort of contemplating what I should do when it comes to this. I don't really want to mess the code up until I actually get time to work through the code itself. At the moment I haven't broken it, so it's working, so which is good. Yeah. Yeah, that's the perfect wheel. It's now driving now. And it brakes. So there we go. Reversing. Right, and then so when I brake it, you got to sort of tap it and hold it down. It's not really very good brakes at. Yeah, you got to sort of tap it and then it, it comes to a hold. Yeah, you got to tap it. It comes to a hold now. Oh, not exactly. You got to hold the two together, hold the one on the opposite. Got to actually work with it. Can't remember which one works together with the forward. So you can hold the one that's working opposite. Yeah, it has to work like that. One of them actually works opposite because the code itself is saying plus or minus. Got to work it out how it actually stops it. See, that's saying plus, the other one up here is saying minus. So on here you got the going forward acceleration and minus acceleration. So when it comes to this, comes to sort of a hold like that. There are other many ways of doing it, so I don't think this is appropriate code to add the sliding thing to stop it and all that sliding to control it, because the last time I didn't use rigid bodies and all that in a similar code, I had a whole world of trouble. I sat down for hours trying to sort this out, so which can be very, very time consuming. And just this code alone, typing it and putting it right and making it work, and that it's small, it's not a lot of lines, but it takes an enormous amount of time. It's time consuming. It's not just this alone. So you come together and you sort of work all these out, what you want, the sizes and that, and put them straight, put this into position, set this all up, what you want the simulation to look like. You develop all the colors you want. There's a red motor and that, and you set up. You create these. Actually, these three you create them here. This I did in the other videos. This is the supercar is the scene I've saved for it, right? And it's called spin. It's to spin the wheel, drive the wheel basically forward and back. And with that, that's just a little short project I've had for this. Let's see how it gets on from this point on. Yeah, there's more to come. I've got to develop all the 4 wheels now with the other one. So stay with me. Let's see where we get on with it. Yeah, good. See you on the next video. Cheers.